Hey guys, we're back for another week of Broom Closet Talks. So, yeah, hello, my lady.
Hello, how
It's
are you?
us again this week.
Faster as always.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. And this week we're gonna be talking about summertime, summer solstice, which is tomorrow, and we're also gonna be talking about Gemini season ending and Cancer season beginning. So this is the last day for the Geminis and on to Cancer season. So what do you think about Cancer season? I mean, anytime it's a water season for me, it's usually a little tough because it's more emotional than usual. And me being an air sign, I'm an Aquarius, um I don't do the feels too tough, so it's like usually when we get into a watery season I'm like like
I, but I think for the most part, I'm not feeling that this season. Um, this season, I'm feeling a different type of change. Um, there's going to be more of a sternness this season. I feel like there's going to be some type of a flip of the switch, like a psychotic break. Um, I feel like there's a lot of uh, Cancer sign people that have had enough. I'm not sure if it's due to what's going on now, with the whole gas prices and everything getting so expensive, inflation,
yeah,
and
it's
that
tough times.
it tends to take a toll on people. So this season, I'm not feeling that softness that Cancer usually gives out.
Right.
I feel like this time around they're becoming more of a rebel for some reason, more in control of their actions, going out more, uh, and not caring who knows and who doesn't know. Like just me being more in control of their emotions. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, and that's really interesting because the thing about Cancers is that they're known to be the home bodies. They're they rule the fourth house. They're about home and family. And usually around this time is because this is their solar return. So I think this is when, yeah, they do feel a bit more extroverted than usual because it's their solar return. And Cancer season on the northern hemisphere is summertime here, but wintertime in the southern hemisphere. So it's just interesting that we have a northern and southern hemisphere, so it's two different sort of polarities and energies, wintertime versus summertime. But for the most part, I do think that that makes a lot of sense what you're saying, because I feel like right now, with all this earth energy we've been having with Taurus and Cancer, they go very well together. Actually, it's a nice sextile, it's a nice blending. So it's true. And the thing is about Cancers, they're cardinal signs. They're usually very balanced, or they look at things from both sides. And whereas Taurus is very fixed, and they dig their heels into the ground, into the sand, so to speak. And
I see her as the dominatrix of.
right, so Taurus energy is very fixed, very stubborn. So I feel like that may be contributing to that energy with Cancer right now, feeling very much like wanting to stand their ground, wanting to set those boundaries, wanting to speak up and speak out, has a lot to do with that, especially with uh the North Node there, Venus is there, Uranus, there's a lot of Taurus energy going on right now. So I think that's a big benefactor as to why they would be in that space. Um, yeah, and then also they have Pluto in Capricorn right now, which is the opposite of Cancer. So I think when it comes to relating, I think like you said, the whole thing of standing their ground and all those things has to do with primarily their connections with, you know, partnerships, whether business or romantic in nature. So you okay over there? Or are you picking something up?
Yeah, yeah, I am. And I'm picking up a lot.
Okay. Got worried for a minute. I thought you were like gonna pass out or something.
No, no. I'm just picking up a little bit too much.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, you know, when we're picking up stuff collectively, you know, you're picking up for the collective consciousness, like
Yeah.
thousands, millions. So that right there can, you know, be overwhelming. So, but essentially, I do feel like this season is going to be very groundbreaking. We're going to have more eclipses coming up, especially next month in July. There's going to be more eclipses coming up in eclipse energy. And, you know, every time we have an eclipse, it sets a tone for 6 months. So we've had, you know, several so far that have made serious impacts. And Venus has been very active in the sky lately. Like Venus went conjunct with Uranus, then it went conjunct with the North Node. It went conjunct with the North Node a couple of days ago, and it pretty much wreaked havoc on my weekend. My weekend was a trip. I spend most of my weekend with no electricity. I went away for the weekend, and where I ended up staying had no electricity. The power went out from Friday all the way till today. So that was my weekend, and I'm like, well, yeah, there it is. So
Yeah.
I was kind of already knowing that, you know, it had a lot to do with the degree. It was on 22 degrees. And remember what we talked about last week about critical degrees.
Right.
The thing is to expect certain things to end or go out or things like that. Like in my case, it was power. So, I mean, all in all, I made the best of it. You know, there's nothing really you can do. And thank God there was generators that I was able to, you know, cope. But all in all, it threw me through a loop, put it that way. So, but yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of those moments. I think also because we have a lot of planets in retrogrades. You know, right now we have Saturn, we have Pluto retrograde. So a lot of these upper planets really are very slow moving. So it's a very slow moving progress we're feeling. So I think that's why you were saying something about like, you know, I think the fact that people are going to be feeling somewhat discouraged or like frustrated, I think because of with everything that's happening right now, like you said, with the gas prices, the inflation, the way of the world right now, it's like people are not really seeing that whole light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that's a, you know, a big issue right now, you know.
And funny because there will be harmonious attempts to try to kick back the pain that most of us are going through. You know, I think I remember telling you a while back that I did see more famine and civil unrest around the summertime in one of our many channelings. And you know, it's bound to happen because the pressure is, it's like a tea kettle right now.
Mhm.
It's boiling until it lets out that steam, and that's where we're at right now. People are out of control, robbing, you know, committing more crimes, and just a lot of injustice going on. And as usual, the ones who get affected by it are the elderly and the single women who have to work daily and you know, work hard to make ends meet, and the families that, you know, just usually have one person working. And you know, it's like it's a lot going on right now in society. And so, you know, that for me is a trigger to what will happen next. But the attempts of a calmness, a tone of stability will be introduced. Again, our government will try to most definitely try to calm things down a little bit. But, people want change. People want to see something different. They don't want to hear it anymore. They want to see it. So the changes that are going to happen and are going to take place with each zodiac sign is due a lot to our environment, the changes in our social living. And that's something that's inevitable. People who ask for change, people want change. People don't see progress. People are upset. People are angry. And change is what they're looking for.
Right. And that's very true, because like each sign has contributes something to the energies, contributes something to the collective. And with Cancer in particular, Cancer brings forth the need to look at things in our own backyard. You know how many times people are always looking at what other people are doing and what's going on over there and over here. Cancer is like, no, take a look at what's going on in your own backyard before you worry about anything else outside. So I feel like energetically, that's the theme for the next season with Cancer, is just to focus on what's going on in your own backyard and working on things on a grassroots level as to how to better your situation, in your inner sanctum. And then later on, when you get to Leo season, Leo is about everything outside,
right.
So, right.
Yeah.
So once we get to, the ending of the month, in next month in July, we get into Leo season, then it's going to be a more of a focus of the outside. Whereas, with Cancer, it's like looking, like I said, within your own backyard, your inner sanctum.
With Leo, it's a fiery sign. So with Leo, there's action, there's movement. Cancer or people with Cancer attributes, they're more shy about it, and they're not as vocal, and they're not as active as a Leo sign would be. Leo is fiery. Leos are, they will bite hard.
Right, they will. They will. It's two like total different energies, and it's interesting that Cancer and Leo pretty much rule the season of summer. Summer is primarily Cancer and Leo season. So it's like you're going from one extreme to another, which is why a lot of crazy things tend to happen in the summer, because of those two huge polarities with Cancer and Leo. And you're going from a cardinal, balanced watery energy, and then you're going into a fixed fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like a still flame during Leo season. So essentially, I feel it's designed that way because this is a time in Cancer season where we need to focus on our emotional body. We need to focus on our intuition. And I think that's why with any water season, the best way to navigate, through it is by using your intuition, by trusting your feelings, trusting your gut. And a lot of times, we question ourselves. We don't trust what we're feeling. And, water seasons force you to do that.
Right. And so with Cancer season, it's kind of to the point where that person that they were, let's say romantically, the person that they've been googly eyes over and they've been afraid to talk to, this time around, this season, they'll have enough courage to walk up to that person and say, hey, I like you.
So this is
And
like for like single people during this time.
yeah, for single people during this time. For the married couples, that Cancer person is gonna say, you know what, if they're tired of being with their mate, they're gonna say it's over,
Mm,
done with you. And if they want to work things out with their partner, they're gonna say, look, I want to take a vacation, I want to do this, I want to do that.
mm,
Or they're willing to make those changes in the relationship, or they're willing to try something new.
mm.
So the kinky boom chicka wow wow is in there. Um, so there's gonna be a lot of this time around. They're gonna be vocal about their feelings, as opposed to whining and shutting down about it.
Mhm.
They're gonna be more vocal. They're,
Okay, so that's something to look forward to for
yeah.
Cancer people or people who are with cancers.
Mhm.
Something to look forward to with them, and that's the thing, I I always found, for me in the beginning when I first really got into astrology, um, it was just in my own experience. Like I was the most annoyed by Leos and Cancers in particular, right? Because we're talking about Leos and Cancers. They were the ones that irritated me the most. I think because Cancers are so watery and they're also very moody. So the shifting moods with Cancers, because they're ruled by the moon. So
Mhm.
their moods literally change with the tides of the moon. So it's
Right.
like one day you catch them, they're sweet and they're affectionate and they're in, you know,
Right. They have bipolar.
they're very attentive.
Yeah.
Then the next minute they're just a raging, moody biatch that doesn't want to be bothered.
Yeah, they have like a bipolar
Yeah,
tendency.
and it's like you catch them on a wrong day, you're screwed. And I noticed that had been my experience with Cancers. They're very moody, and it's interesting to see a Cancer male because I've encountered that. I've dated Cancers, and I remember like I would just they would, like I said, they would just be so sweet and so affectionate, and then the next day it's like they're not talking to you, they're moody, and then they're just put off by everything. They're like everything irritates them, or you just get the cold shoulder altogether. Like you just get like, and you're just like, ill, like what the f, like what just happened. And
Right.
it's that sort of energy, and I think that's essentially like why I was always kind of put off by Cancer, because of the mood swings, like, you know. And then getting to understand astrology more, and how it is that they're extremely sensitive to the moon. So if the moon is waxing, if the moon is ready to become full, they may become a bit more moody. They may, it may play out in an irritating way, in a bad mood, or overly moody or overly emotional. Or it could, like you said, it could be combative even, like you have to, it really depends on their full chart, but they're just extremely sensitive to the moon cycles. And that pretty much explains the mood
Yeah.
situation with them. So now that I understand that, because my Pooh Bear, my boyfriend, he's Cancer moon. And he has his moments. He can get very moody and like it drives me nuts sometimes. But it's like I know what triggers it. I know the triggers now. So it's like I expect it and I know how to like work my way around it and navigate through those moments. I don't take it personally. And I think that's a lot of times when you're experiencing someone who's having a mood swing, you take it personally. Like, what did I do? Like, why are you acting like this with me? Like, you take it personal. So I think that's the thing about it with Cancers. Like they are very moody, but it's never anything personal. It's just they're very sensitive people,
Yeah.
hypersensitive. Like there's not one Cancer I know that's not an empath. And I think a lot of them aren't even aware that
Yeah.
they're empaths.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it out there for everybody that's watching. If you have a Cancer sun, moon, or rising Cancer, You an empath, straight up and down. If you've always wondered, am I not, am I, you are.
Right.
If you have Cancer in a very prominent place in your chart, you're more than likely an empath. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
And I would say with Cancer more so than any other water sign like Pisces or Scorpio, because again, Cancers are ruled by the moon. And the moon is emotions, sensitivity to our surroundings. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's the thing about Cancer also, Brenda, like, all the other signs are ruled by a planet. Capricorn, you guys are ruled by Saturn. I'm Aquarius,
Right.
we're ruled by Uranus, but anyway, let me stop. Like Venus is ruled, Libra is ruled, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. But Cancer in particular, Cancer is ruled by the moon.
Yeah.
And then you get Leo, that's ruled by the sun.
Right.
So that's literally, for the summer solstice, for the whole summer, you go from moon energy straight to sun energy.
Yeah.
Vibes. And it's that balance, I think, that specifically happens in the summertime with that, because, moon is feminine energy and the sun is masculine, of course.
Which takes me to another level of like you said, of energy wise. I see a lot of people still going out to places. Yeah, we're broke, but if we're broke and it's our last days, why not enjoy ourselves? So people are gonna still keep going out, doing things. It doesn't matter what's going on out there. People are gonna still live life to the fullest, which is what you have to do. Live life to the fullest. Cautiously, but live life to the fullest, because we have today. We don't know about tomorrow, and yesterday is already gone.
Right. So, and that's the thing, because it's about adapting. And I think collectively people are in a space where they just know how the way of the world is right now, and they're just adapting and just trying to figure out a way through it. And this is, like I said, this is summertime. This is when people go on vacation. This is when you go out to the beach. This is when you're the most out and about. You know what I mean? It's when the sun is at its highest point in the sky, and it's, the warmest. So people are more inclined to be out there, and they don't want those limitations to hinder them anymore. I think at this point, people have just made a decision whether or not, to follow certain, protocol or not. They just want to live, like you said. The credo, like, is basically live and let live.
Right.
That's where people are right now, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think people are just tired of hearing one thing and then another and then another. You can't rely on important sources anymore like you used to. You just got to go with your gut, and you got to go with your surroundings and what you've been seeing locally, and again in your own backyard.
Financially, I see just a slight setback, but I do see changes in a car, like wanting to change a car for a better one. Home wise, wanting to purchase a new home, but it's not the right time.
Yeah.
So, and there will be some minor setbacks, but it's nothing that's gonna stay throughout the year. It's just like momentarily.
You got tongue twisted there. I hate when that happens.
From monetary to momentarily. So momentarily is a minor setback. It's not gonna be, like I said, lasting, because again, there's changes, and those changes also include your daily living. It includes your physical aspects. So, you're going to want to start even looking better again. So you're going to be doing your hair, your nails. This is for the women. The men are going to start grooming themselves more, getting themselves more, what Latinas like to call papichulos, which are the
right. Yeah.
the cute guys, so, I see those changes as well. It's like you're now going to focus more on you. if that makes sense.
Right.
And it's only because you're just tired of the bullshit. You're tired. It's always the same thing day in, day out. And you're screaming for changes. You're not asking for changes. You're not screaming for changes, demanding for changes, and making that happen for yourself. Right. So, yeah, I see a lot of that going on. No pregnancies.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see any pregnancies.
I've been seeing a lot of pregnant people lately. I saw a few, but it's weird because I usually see a lot more right now because everybody in the summer.
Yeah.
People show up pregnant in the summer because in the winter, they were getting it in.
Yeah, but I mean pregnancies and cancer season, not pregnant women that are already, full blown pregnant women. Not those. No, those are pregnant.
That's interesting. So you don't see collectively like people trying or anything?
I think what I'm seeing is I want to use the word selfishness. I see a lot of people feeling selfish right now, like I'm doing me now. That family time, I have to have kids and I see that like dropping a lot.
And that could be because of the inflation. People are like thinking twice now about starting families because the way of the world right now, it's expensive. And then not to mention the shortage with the baby formula and all that stuff. So I think that might have scared a lot of people off too.
There's a lot of setbacks, even though, with the whole baby formula thing, I feel like they want to force women to breastfeed. But it's like some women can't breastfeed. Some women rely on the formula because they can't breastfeed. Mm-hmm. But it's always been a interesting topic because they've always educated and tried to push the whole aspect of breastfeeding. Yes, it's good for the baby and for the mom. Mm-hmm. Yes, the mom does lose a lot of pregnancy weight. Yes, the baby is healthier because of whatever the mother intakes. But at the same time, if the mother gets sick, let's say with COVID or, any other type of, virus, and she's allowed to take cold medicine or she's allowed to take antibiotics, now that's going to hit the baby as well. Mm. So there's, this different points of view as far as how good breastfeeding is. I did breastfeed my kids and, it was good until they became extremely selfish and wanted to continue eating more than what I could provide.
And so it started to hurt and they started to get big.
Yeah, so I had to switch to formula. That's where the formula comes in.
Right.
So, again, that whole baby shortage of formula, I think that's just, I feel like it's just a way of forcing women to take an alternative, as far as baby formula is concerned. Like I said, breastfeeding is something that's been in the works for many years. It also helps the government by now allowing so much expenditure with formula because, a lot of women, they get help during these times when they're, with their newborns. Yeah. At either low cost or free formula for their babies because, a can of formula is basically $45, $60 a can. And I don't even know if it's even more than that because I haven't had a baby in more than 9 years. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not sure how much it's gone up, but it was always expensive for me when I would see it in the aisles. Hey, this is $30-something. So I'm pretty sure by now it was $30-something. So I'm sure that now it should be like $60 or $70 a can. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, at that time when a person has an infant that little and they're not working at the moment, even though they might have saved, but if you're not putting back into that bank on a weekly basis what you're spending, that money starts to go down. No matter how much you think that you've saved for those 3 or 4 months that you're out of work, that money goes away quick when you got bills to pay, and then you now have an extra mouth to feed, and things are expensive.
Right.
So you get, you try to get help. And when you get that help, usually the government is who steps in. And,
Like
that's
the WIC program, basically.
the WIC program, right? The WIC program is one of those programs that have helped women for many, many years. And, with everything comes exhaustion.
Mhm.
Right now our government is apparently tapped out of a lot of funding and a lot of things. And, I think this is what's causing a lot of people to have a change of heart with our government and with the system. And, this is where it all begins, because people are exhausted. They're exhausted, they're tired, and they're not seeing change. And people always want change to come faster than when it can. And so the zodiacs, Cancer and Leo, are going to be the starting point to all this dilemma.
Yeah. And I feel usually that's, in the summer when people want to start, or they kind of see the excesses during the summer because everybody's out there, everybody's vacationing, everybody's spending more in the summer, seems like, because you're outside more. So I think by the end of this summer, people are going to start seeing that's, okay, I've spent way more than I should have, and what is up with that. And I feel like by the end of it is when, yeah, people are just going to start like speaking out about this, and the ways of the world, as I said. And I do feel a lot of it is going to have to boil down to, your lifestyle in particular. Like I said, people who are more inclined to spend more are going to have to learn how to be more efficient, be more frugal. And I think that's a lot of why the resentment is there with many people, because they're used to living a certain lifestyle and spending a certain amount of money that they're, free to do. And now with the inflation, they're not getting more, they're not getting the bang for their buck as they used to. So I think that's where the issue lies, and people are angry and resentful over that. So it's more
and the fact that they can't out of the stuff that they normally, shop for. You go to some of these stores and the stores shelves are kind of empty,
Mm-hmm.
Like it looks like it hasn't been, stocked up in days.
Yeah.
That also causes conflict,
And at the end of the day too, a big factor in it is corporate greed.
Yeah.
A lot of these corporations, a lot of these major labels, whether it's clothing, food, Amazon, things like that, they're taking advantage of this. They create an efficiency, but at a more higher rate.
Yeah.
So you're seeing, you're getting your stuff, but you're not realizing that it's about $5 more than you usually spend. Yeah, you're getting it the next day.
Right.
But it's like you're actually spending more on it than you think you are, even though you're getting it the next day or whatever the case may be. They're using these extra surcharges and things like that, even with your cell phone. You got all these extra cell phone surcharges, your cable, your internet, you got all these extra surcharges. Like my cable bill, my internet bill last month was double the price, and they couldn't give me a straight answer. And then they put me on hold for like 30 minutes, and then they tell, oh, it's all these surcharges and your billing cycle, so we had to add this on and that on. Any little way to throw in extra money to juice out of you, they will. So a lot of it has to do with these major corporations like Spectrum, like Amazon, all cell phones providers. They're adding all these extra charges, all these extra, it's just corporate greed.
I don't know
at the end of the day.
I don't notice, but in the hospitality industry and the restaurant industry, You know, a lot of places are adding COVID charges, COVID tax charges. So like if you rent a vehicle, they're gonna charge you everything else plus COVID tax charges. So now everything that you do is gonna have that extra tax and it's gonna be COVID related. I had told you this once and I told other people and everyone looked at me like I was crazy about it. When they gave out that money, that was not free money. I knew that we were gonna pay back that money some way, somehow. Part of this inflation is due to also that COVID money that was given out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they needed that money back. And they were gonna take it back one way or another. So that's why we also getting hit hard with this inflation.
Oh yeah, that's also a big factor.
Nothing is for free, and I've always said it, nothing is for free. Nothing. And everybody said, oh no, there's money in the reserve, there's money. Listen, that money may be in the reserve and that's where it's going to stay for the next couple of years because we always have to stay as a power country.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's a reserved money. They're not going to let go of that money for free. We have other bills to pay because we owe other people just like they owe us. But we're going to keep holding on to that money because in case everybody else flops, we can still be ahead. We're not right now, but we can get there again. So, you know, that's where part of the inflation is coming from.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know they're gonna give us the squeeze.
Yeah, they're gonna try to get that money back. Is
Yeah.
what
they're gonna hit it. You know, we're gonna get hit where it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it just goes way far down the rabbit hole.
It does.
You know, that's a whole other episode. We already went on this for like 30 minutes already.
Yeah.
I mean, we could go way further on this, but
for the most part, Cancer and Leo season are the catalyst of what's to come.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, because like I said, it's your backyard versus what's happening outside of your backyard with Leo, seeing everything outside. And you know, Leos are the ostentatious. They're the ones that like to put themselves out there. They like an audience. This is where we're gonna see a lot of people, you know, in the media speaking out, a lot of politicians or a lot of like these organizations, you know, speaking out. You're gonna see a lot of public speaking things occurring during Leo season, because that's when people are more inclined to do that.
Right.
So, but yeah, Brenda. So, without further ado, let's do some readings.
Sure.
Let's do some readings. We got a lot of feedback last week. Thank you everyone for your feedback and the things that you shared. But we would like you to share your feedback here. Drop your comments. Let us know what you think. We got a lot of feedback, but behind the scenes, we would like to see, hear your feedback and see it in the comments. And so don't be shy. Just drop your comments and any questions and anything you want to share, just let us know. Okay, so last week I had my zodiac oracle, excuse me. Today I'm switching it up. I got my astro dice here, so I thought I'd use my astro dice today. And I'm using another oracle today. Since it's summer solstice, summertime, it's always a time for mermaids and fairies. I don't have any mermaid decks, and I should get that because I always say I'm gonna get some mermaid decks because mermaids is good to use for the summer. But I do have fairy decks, so this is one of my favorite. This is the Oracle of the Dragon Fae, which I love very much. I've had it for a long time, and so yeah, I'll be pulling these. Last time we went on pretty for a while. We went on for like 2 hours. So I think maybe we should cut that a bit short.
Yeah.
And maybe just do like the elements, earth, air, fire, water signs like that. Just like do clusters maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that'll work better. So
I'm using the Psychic Tarot.
ooh, by
It's an
John
oracle.
Holland. I love that deck. It's a good deck.
Yeah, it is. It's an oracle deck. So I'll just be using this. I'll let you use the other ones. I'll just be backing up whatever you're saying, basically.
They have a love variation of that Psychic Tarot of the Heart.
Yeah.
That's the one I have.
Yeah.
So you have the one I want. That's the first one.
And I gotta get the one you have.
Right. But okay, so I'm just shuffling here, but I'm good to go. So who we gonna start with? Let's see. I feel like I'm playing dice. We're like craps. Come on, 7. Let me go. Mama needs a brand new pair of shoes. Let's see. Woo!
Woo-wee.
Right.
Lucky 7.
Okay, we are starting with the fire signs. All right. Fire signs. So we were just talking about Leos. So Leos, Aries, and Sagittarius. So let's see. I'm going to pull an oracle for y'all. Let's see what we got. So for you guys, I got the Lovers of the Feast, which is conscious, aware eating. Oh, okay. So whenever this shows up, this is talking about to be mindful of how you're eating, how you're sustaining yourself. This may show that you may have been overindulging, guys. And again, this is for all fire signs, for Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You guys may be overindulging either with the drink or the food. So I like what you got there. See, so this is a time to practice mindful eating, mindful drinking right now, because you are sensitive to that. It may have a serious effect with you. So what you got there, B?
I got recognition and reward. So you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what you've been striving for, what you've been working really hard on for the past, I want to say, couple of months, it's gonna show its fruits. So everything that you've been pushing and pulling, pushing so hard and pulling through so hard is gonna have its rewards coming to you. You are being recognized. Every challenge, every obstacle that you make, it's always gonna have a reward towards it. And anything that you do is not in vain. People are looking at you, people are watching you. So yeah, be proud of yourself, because what's happening is gonna show soon, and everyone else is gonna see it. So your light is shining very brightly. So there you go.
So that's a good thing. So it could either be either or, like either you're overindulging and need to cut back and practice mindful eating, or if you are already, you're going to reap the rewards of that, like based on what you got. So it could go either which way, guys. But nonetheless, if you are on the right track, wonderful, keep up the good work. But for those who aren't and who are overindulging, then now is the time to make some changes and start practicing the whole mindful eating thing. So yeah. And this makes sense. I'm an Aries rising, and I'm literally like doing this right now. The first week was hard and I hated everything. I hated life, but now I'm starting to see the benefits of it. So yeah.
Right, you're seeing
I'm now seeing the benefits of it. Took a little while, but I am now. So, all right. So that was for the fire signs. Again, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So let's see who else is up. All right, we got air signs. Air signs. So this is Gemini's, Libra, and Aquarius. All right, so let's see what I got for y'all. Ooh, we got the Lovers. I barely pull this card, you know that? Like,
It just came out.
it's so pretty. Love each other. Okay, guys, so this might be a season of love for the air signs. You guys may definitely have potential for romantic interest, for someone significant romantically to come into your life during this time. So this is very wonderful. And also staying in a place of love. Oh, you pulled two.
It just fell out.
Wow.
So one is authority, and one is mental conflict.
Okay. Mental conflict with an air sign. What a shock.
Yeah.
So, well, ultimately, like I said, the basis of this card is definitely soulmate energy. You guys may have definite potential of soulmates coming in, strong romantic interest. And also it says to love each other. So staying in a place of love. And I think essentially that's your theme for the season. Do things with love. So keeping that mantra, I feel, is what's going to really make this a wonderful season for you. Okay. So I saw what you got there, Brent. So I know that's a doozy.
This one will be piggybacking off of yours, because the mental conflict comes in because of the fact that there's some legal issues going on, which is affecting the relationship, and why they have to try to stick it out. So there's some decisions that are causing sleepless nights and anxiety. And that's due to the legal matters of what's going on with either themselves or their partner. And that's what's triggering, not knowing if they should stick it out.
And so these are for like air signs that are attached, right? Like with people. Married or something.
Married, right.
Gotcha.
Okay. Not single. This is more of people who are in a relationship.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So like I said earlier, air signs usually struggle with Cancer season the most because of the emotional waters. And I think at the end of the day, it's like we feel feelings, and sometimes we feel it so much is that we have trouble expressing or processing because we get overwhelmed by what we feel. And I think love is a feeling that comes easily, and some people are scared by that feeling, but we feel all kinds of love. Love is, multi-dimensional. It's not just romantic love. There's unconditional love. There's just, there's, like I said, loving what you do and loving self-love. You know what I mean? It comes in all different shapes and forms. And I think what the Lovers is teaching us how to incorporate all those different facets of love, starting with us. So, and then the mental issues. Okay, so just to quote Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon, don't think, feel. Don't think, feel. It's like a finger pointing to the moon.
But it's always the thing with, the thing with air signs is that they process everything they're too analytical. So they
All the
go,
time.
yeah. So that's where the mental conflict comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this one is based for a couple. I didn't get the singles. I got a couple read.
Mm-hmm.
The authority part, again, like I said, you know, legal issues. And you know, sometimes when you have something going on in your life, you know, for those who are very sensitive with authority, they have mental problems, you know, mental conflict. They can't sleep, they can't eat, they become anxious, so they become overactive, and they tend to have a problem where they yell at their partners, or you know, they catch attitudes, they become very short, but it's because of the anguish that they're going through mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, like Chastity's card said, stick together, hold it out. Your conflicts are not as deep enough to want to break away your relationship if you feel you have a good relationship, if you do. So that was for air signs. Next.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think ultimately, you know, for couples is going to be kind of, you know, some rocky times ahead, but staying in a space of like your heart space essentially is the, you know, the way forward. For singles, like I said, it's more like encompassing all different facets of love, not just the romantic love, because a lot of times when you're single, you're only focusing on what's missing is, you know, the other person and you being alone. But once you get in a space of understanding all facets of love is when that love is going to come in. And for those that are single, there is definite potential of soulmate energy and someone of significance coming in this season. So, good luck. All right.
And again, this is all collective reading. This is not to one particular person or one particular, all collective. So please take what's for you, and if it resonates, and if it didn't, leave it for the rest.
Right, guys. Okay, this is general collective reads. So
you kind of went Silence of the Lambs on me there for a second.
Hello, Clarice.
It puts the lotion on skin. I look like Bob, like what was his name? Bob. It puts the lotion on its skin.
It puts the lotion on its skin. Or gets the hose again.
Oh gosh.
Guys, you know how we are right now. If you haven't been watching, get used to it.
Yeah.
All right. We got earth signs. Earth. Okay. So this is for the Capricornials, the Capricorn, Virgos, and Taurus people.
Yeah, that's our step sibling. Taurus is our step sibling.
Right. So there's just been so much Taurus energy lately. It's just like been wreaking havoc. Honestly.
Ever since Amber Heard, Virgo, and Capricorns decided to keep Taurus as their step sibling.
Like I'm like, I kind of feel bad for Tauruses right now. And I'm not even trying to be funny. Like a lot of Taurus people have encountered some really hard times.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody's like, Amber Heard. Amber Heard is a horse of a different color.
They're like, you know? Oh, Heard, aren't you?
But and I'm putting that nicely.
Here. What sign are you? Taurus. Taurus. Oh, you are Amber Heard. Sorry, fool.
Right. Now they call it's so messed up. They call her Amber Turd now. Like I feel bad. How does that lady walk around now? I mean, this whole thing was just a spectacle, and now like people hate her. Like I heard she legit gets like death threats now and everything. It's just so bad.
Oh.
But like I'm feeling, you know, like I feel for certain Taurus though, aside from her, because I don't feel bad for her. But for other Tauruses out there, I do know Tauruses that have, you know, experienced extreme loss, you know, loss of loved ones and you know, sudden illness. It's just been a rough road for Taurus people. Like aside from her, again, guys, like I said, for my Taurus people, you know, I'm gonna send out some, you know, some heart energy and some virtual hugs, because y'all been going through it. Like, for real, for reals. All right, let's see. Ooh, I always love this card. Chumara, the web of life. Web of life. So, what does it say?
Emotional loss.
Emotional loss. See, and I was just talking about that. Web of life. So for my earth people, you know, the way of the world right now, I feel like it is hit home for you the hardest lately. And I think a lot of times, you know, when you experience a certain level of loss, or where things kind of, you know, turn out unexpectedly not the way you hoped, there are moments where you're like, man, you know, like, you know, you end up having this sort of existential crisis of, you know, what's the point? Why am I doing this? Is things going to get better? And you're asking all these questions. The web of life card is telling you that this is cycles. It's simply life cycle, and that, you know, you're going to have to lose things to gain other things. You know, that sort of dynamic of one door closes, another opens, kind of thing. And certain things, unfortunately, have to fall to the wayside in order for new things to come in. And that's simply what the web of life represents. And when she comes in, she's teaching you that lesson. You know what I mean? So I always just thought it was a beautiful card. The artwork is just so gorgeous there. So
okay, so I have emotional loss, and if you can see here, it looks like a web almost, right? So, you know, whoever you have lost in the transcourse of this time period, and it's not just, you know, a loved one, it could be a friend, it could be, well, you can consider your friends a loved one, it could be a parent, sibling. The universe is listening to you. Divine intervention is stepping in, and at the end of that cycle that you're going through of loss, you're gonna have a water sign enter your life. There's gonna be a water sign to comfort you.
And that's a good thing, because water signs go very well with earth signs.
Yeah.
You know.
So there's a light right above it. Right above it. And that means things are gonna get better. And that support system that you need is coming from a water sign.
Absolutely.
So and everything is not lost, everything is not gone. And the same would be for a breakup. You know, you might have had a breakup with someone that, you know, really, you know, you felt it in the heart, you felt that in your soul, okay? But it's okay, because divine intervention is stepping in. The reason why you had to break up with that person is because your soulmate is coming through.
Right.
And it's beautiful. It's shining bright. It's really, really bright. That new relationship you're gonna wind up in is a beautiful, long-lasting relationship. Because if anything is true, and this is true, earth signs need stability. They need stability. They need to know that they have a family to bust their butts for. They know that, you know, that that the work that they're doing, because earth signs are hard workers, but that the work that they are doing is for a reason.
Right.
Okay. They need to have a muse. For those that are already in a relationship, whatever you think it is that's going on, that water sign is gonna show you the truth. that water sign is the one to open the pathway for you, so you can see what really is going on.
Right.
So don't start thinking that how, because people are like that. It's a natural, thing to always think negative, because we always have this tendency of thinking negatively. Well, this water sign is going to remove that negativity from you and show you what's really going on. And listen, just listen. So whatever is going on in your life right now, remember that there is going to be a water sign, and it could be anywhere between Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. One of those signs in your life is going to clear the way for you. They're going to clear that path for you to understand better what's going on. So you have all these elements going on in your life right now. And this is for Earth chart. You have all these elements going on. So whatever negativity, you've been going through, there's a water sign that's going to clear that path for you. So not all is lost.
Right.
Okay.
And another thing about earth signs during this time, especially for Cancer season, this is when you guys experience the most growth, because water helps earth grow. So you guys I would say more than the other signs, are going to really experience an accelerated amount of growth during this time, for sure. And of course, it makes perfect sense that a water sign would be at the center of it, because that's what water signs bring to the table for you, growth. So that's a beautiful thing. All right, so we get to the last but not least, the water tribe. So we're gonna get to the waters. That's Cancers. And shout out to the Cancers who are gonna be celebrating their birthdays this week. Many blessings on your solar returns, guys. So Cancer, Scorpios, and Pisces. Let's see what we got for you guys. All right. Oh, I love this. I love this little card. Hideki's door. It's a little tiny fairy on a door.
Oh, it's so pretty. I like that one.
A knock at the door. So this is opportunity.
Ooh.
So this season, guys, there's going to be opportunity knocking on your door. Now, the question is, are you going to answer? That's what this card is about. Opportunity is afloat.
Oh.
Are you going to heed the call? Are you going to answer the door or not? Triumphant success. Boom, guys. Answer that door. Heed the call. Water signs. This is your time. This is your time to shine. Okay.
Okay. So it's like whatever you've applied for, whatever you have signed up for, everything that was buried before is now coming out to where it's on your behalf. So it's on your side.
Right.
So like Chastity said, open that door, because it's coming through. Success is coming through. You are winning that battle. So, this is your season. This is your time. Take advantage of it. There's only one chance at this. You don't get more than one. So make sure you don't sleep on it and procrastinate and say, oh, I'll do it later.
Don't
miss on that opportunity.
Don't let it pass you by, guys. It's going to be such a huge opportunity in your life. And a lot of times, certain water signs tend to have a fear of success.
Yeah.
And that may be what triggers it, but just go for it. Don't let this opportunity pass, guys. You're going to regret it if you do.
What you were dealing with took a long time to come through.
Absolutely.
It was buried in deep. And it's now surfacing because it's your turn.
Yep.
And it's been approved and it's going through. So if you don't stay by that phone, if you don't catch those emails, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, and if you don't answer quickly, you will lose your place in line.
Right.
And this could be for an apartment, for a brand new car, for a new job, for a raise, for anything, what you've applied for, what you've answered for, what you've been waiting for. If you don't stick by that phone, computer, whatever, to pay attention to it, you're going to lose that opportunity, because it's now your turn. Now the papers have surfaced and you're on top of the paper pile, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And you don't want to be part of a paper trail. You want to be top on the list.
Exactly. So, you know,
yeah.
it's a one-shot deal. Take it or leave it. It's a one-shot deal. So even if it doesn't sound good to you at the moment, if you don't take it, that's it. That's it.
So all in all, this is going to be a really good season, I feel, for everyone. You know, it's just a matter of, again, trusting your intuition, following your gut, and taking chances, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you want to pull like one last card as like for the theme of the season, or?
Sure.
All right, let's see. For some reason, they're like, the fairies are like, you need to pull one more. So I'm like, okay. They talk to me. I love fairies. Even though they could be mischievous, I love them.
So
I think that.
What is it going to be for this season?
Yeah, the theme for this season. Let's see. Grandmother magics. Ooh, I love this. She's an elder fairy. I comfort you. I love that. So basically the energies of the season is to bring comfort, intuition. I comfort you. So the theme goes hand in hand here. When you embrace your intuition, when you follow and you trust it, it'll bring a level of comfort to you from the divine, not just from you, but from, you know, from higher beings, your guides, your ancestors, you know. You're divinely supported because you're trusting your intuition. So yeah, that's the theme, guys. That's really it. And I love that message. So
yeah. Stay focused on your religious beliefs, and whoever you believe in, whoever you trust, you know, stay true to it. Stay true and stay on it.
Yeah,
they're listening. The universe is listening.
Absolutely. Definitely is. So it's gonna be all in all a very enlightening season, you know. And the real test is, again, trusting yourself, trusting your gut, guys. You got this. You can do it. You do it. It seems like, of course, I said this in the beginning, Brenda, even before we did the readings, I said, looks like the biggest struggle here is the air signs, you know, air signs and the fire.
2 cards pulled out for air signs.
And I already know, because every year, like clockwork, I struggle with the water season, with Cancer season. But now getting, you know, we got in depth with the readings, it makes sense. You know, it's sometimes our own, we overthink and we get caught up in, you know, in our minds, and we got to get into our heart spaces. As hard as that is for a lot of us, is getting into our heart space. That's, you know, what we really have to work on during this time.
Yeah. Become selfish with yourself.
Right. Start with self-love. Start with self-love, and then just let it branch out from there.
Yep.
So with that being said, guys, thank you for tuning in. And again, if you would like private readings with myself or Brenda, our information's down below. Drop us, you know, any type of message, email, whatever, get in touch with us. We'll be more than happy.
And if you want to further elaborate what we did today with your sign, drop down an email to us, and we'll be more than happy to assist you.
Yeah, definitely. So again, this was a pleasure, guys. And until next week. Oh, and enjoy your summer.
Enjoy your summers.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.